So in this video I'd like to show you how to create a simple room tag in Autocad. Here you can see the finished result. As you can see, the room tag consists of different attributes. This attribute here represents the room number. You can add values for the level, the typology, or the room number itself. This attribute obviously represents the room name. These attributes here represent the area, the perimeter, and the clear height of the room. And finally, I added an attribute to display the finished floor material. This room tag is connected to a simple polyline. When I change the shape of the polyline, for example like this, and type RE for region in the command line, you can see that the room tag now automatically displays the changed values for the polyline. I will quickly undo the changes. I will also show you how to extract the information from your room tags and how to write this information into a simple Autocad table. I personally think that tables are quite handy, especially if you want to calculate the total area of your floor. I also added an annotation scale to the room tag, so when I change the annotation scale, you can see that the room tag scales itself accordingly. For now, I will just leave the annotation scale on 1 to 100. Before we start, let's have a quick look at my Autocad. I use a default metric template here. The drawing is in meters. As I just mentioned, I have an annotation scale set to 1 to 100, and I defined 3 simple text styles. This value here represents the height of the text when printed. So in this case, the text will have a height of 2 millimeters in paper space, according to the scale of 1 to 100. Close the dialog. First, I will draw a simple rectangle, so I type rec in the command line. I define a start point. For now, I will make this rectangle 2 on 2 meters. I will use the Match Properties tool to put it on a correct layer. And now we're ready to define our first attribute. I type @def in the command line. This brings up a dialog. Our first attribute will be the room number, so I enter room number in the tagline. The prompt I leave empty, and as a default value I will use a letter, G for example for ground floor, 00. For example, if you have upper floors, you can use different numbers. 00. You could use this number for different typologies of rooms, and 00 for the room number itself. The text settings are just correct, I don't need to change them. Press OK and insert the first attribute in the drawing. Press the spacebar to bring up the dialog again. Our second attribute will be the room name. So I enter room name in the tagline, prompt empty again, and as a default value I will use room name again. Now just check the align below previous attribute definition and press OK. Spacebar again to bring up the dialog. Our third attribute will be the area. So I type area display in the tagline. leave the prompt empty, and as a default value I will use the letter A for area equals, and then I will press the insert field button and choose formula. Well, as you can see, I will use formulas to display the values in AutoCAD. This is definitely something you don't have to do, but I highly recommend to use formulas because, according to my opinion, they offer really a great flexibility regarding the display of the values in AutoCAD. I also know offices, for example, that draw in centimeters or in millimeters, and in this case you will definitely have to use a formula to correctly convert the values. So you have to use a factor to translate square millimeters or square centimeters to square meters. In the formula field, I will add another field. This time I will choose object, press the select object button and just select the polyline. Leave everything as it is, press OK, and this will bring us back into the formula dialog. Press the evaluate button. As you can see, it displays a lot of zeros, more than we need, so I lower the precision and press the additional format button. I will add a suffix, in this case square meters, and press OK. Okay, looks good to me. Check again the align below previous attribute definition and press OK. If you take a quick look at this small floor plan that I drew, you can see that the area always displays itself with a prefix, the A equals, and a suffix, the square meters. I think it looks good like this. If you take a look at the table, you can see that the values for the areas are displayed as plain numbers. The reason for this is that AutoCAD, similar to Excel, cannot really calculate values with prefix or suffix. To achieve this result, that AutoCAD displays the same value on the one hand with prefix and with suffix, and on the other hand only as a number, we just have to copy the attribute we just defined. So I make a copy of this. I change its name to area. And now I will delete both the prefix and the suffix from the attribute. So double click it. First delete the prefix. Double click the value. Right click insert field. Object. Select object. Select again the polyline. Press OK. And in the additional format window, just delete the suffix. Press OK. Press the evaluate button, and you can see that now it displays only a plain number that AutoCAD easily can calculate. Press OK and OK again. I will now make this attribute invisible. The reason for this is that we need this value only for calculation, while the other attribute will be the visual representation of the area. I will move the second attribute right over the other attribute, which doesn't matter because it will be invisible. I will do now exactly the same with the perimeter. So I enter addDef again in the command line. As a tag, I use perimeter display. Default value, I will use the letter P equals, Press again the Insert Field button. Again in the formula window, add another field. Check the object. Object type, select object. The polyline. And what we are now interested is not the area, but the length of the polyline. Choose it and press OK. Back in the formula window, press the Evaluate button, lower the precision, and again add a suffix. In this case, the suffix will be meters. Press OK. Looks good. OK. Check the align below previous attribute definition. OK. Again, make a copy of this. Change its name to perimeter. And delete both prefix and suffix. Press the Evaluate button. Looks good. Press OK. OK. Make this perimeter invisible. And I just saw that I forgot to make the area invisible also. I move the perimeter right over the perimeter display. The next one will be the clear height of the room. So I enter add dev to open up the dialog. As a tag, I will use clear height. The prompt I leave empty again. As a default value, I will use the letter CH for clear height equals. Press again the Insert Field button and use a formula again. In this case, I will just enter 2.50. Press the Evaluate button, lower the precision, and add a suffix. In this case, meters. OK. OK. Check the align below previous attribute definition. And OK. The last one will be the finished floor. Type add dev in the command line. As a tag, I use floor finish. And I will use floor finish as a default value again. Check again the align below previous attribute definition and press OK. I will now make the room name a little bit bigger, just for graphical reasons. I think it looks good. So I will just change my text style to something bigger, like 2.5. And will move this attribute a little bit up, probably like this. What we have to do now is to put all these attributes together in a block and see if it works. To do this, I will enter block in the command line. I will name the block room tag 001. Don't forget to check the annotative behavior if you want to use annotation scales. Press OK. AutoCAD gives me a warning that no objects have been selected for the block. Just select the objects and select all the attributes that you defined. Right mouse button, press OK. For the insertion base point, I will use a point just in the upper left corner of the room tag, probably here. Press OK. This looks quite good to me. I will double click the block to bring up the enhanced attribute editor. As you can see, the attributes are not in order. Let's fix that. To fix that, I use the Batman command. So I enter Batman in the command line, and I will just change the order of the attributes. Switch to the room tag 001. The room number has to go up. The floor finish has to go down. The area display has to go up. This has to go down. The room name has to go up. Room number, room name. So I think that they are now in perfect order. Let's press apply. The sync button. And OK. When I now double click the block, you can see that they are now well ordered. As you can see, I already did some work and copied the room tag to the different rooms in this small floor plan. If you want to make this block annotative, just add some different annotation scales. For example, let's add 1 to 50 and 1 to 200. Change the annotation scale to see if it works. This will make it bigger, and the 1 to 50 should make it smaller. Looks good. So now I will show you how to extract the data from the room tag. So I enter data extraction in the command line. I will create a new data extraction. I will save it on my desktop. I will call it something like data 001. Select objects in current drawing and select all the room tags in the floor plan. Press next. Here you have to uncheck display all object types and uncheck display objects currently in use only. Just check display blocks with attributes. Press next. Here you can uncheck everything except the attribute category. In the attribute category, I will uncheck the area display and the perimeter display. Also, I'm not interested in the floor finish. Press next. Here uncheck these 3 check marks, the combine identical rows, the show count column and show name column. And now just rearrange the columns a little bit. So let's start with the room number. Next will be the room name, then the area, then the perimeter, and finally the clear height. Anyway, I think that the clear height is not really interesting, so I will go back. I will uncheck the clear height, but I will use the floor finish category. Press next. This looks quite good to me. What I will do here is rename the area column. I will add square meters. And in the perimeter column, I will add meters as units. Press the room number column to order it. Looks good. Press next. You can now also export it to an external Excel file, but in this case I will insert the table into my drawing. Check the insert data extraction table into drawing. Press next. I will switch to a predefined table style that fits my line weights. Press next. Press the finish button and just insert the table inside the drawing. Next I will order it a little bit. This I will put to the left. These two will go to the right. And this column to the left again. Next I will add a new row. I will unlock it. I will add something like total. I will make it bold and a little bit bigger. Here I will just add a formula, in this case a sum. Just select all the values. Make it bold and a little bit bigger also. Lower the precision. And you can see that Autocad quickly calculated the total area of the floor plan. Well, I think this is quite useful, and I think it will also help to avoid mistakes. So, because you will have clear feedback that you did not forget any room. So I think we're finished with this video. I hope this technique can save you some time. And yeah, have a nice day and see you next time.